What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including we're really not ready for Raw on Netflix, Roman Reigns makes a big decision backstage, is CM Punk retiring, superstars are pushing for AJ Lee's in-ring return, a big spoiler is a huge return, AJ Styles' final injury update and it's not good, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now, as always, we won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good, as number 1, Wyatt 6 vs Final Testament has potential. Our fans could see the Wyatt 6 battling The Miz and or the Final Testament. While The Miz and the Final Testament haven't been booked as anything but mid-carders recently, this could be good if the WWE presents both sides as worthy opponents. The Final Testament doesn't have any supernatural elements, but it does give off a dark vibe that makes it a potential good faction to face the Wyatt 6. Although The Miz made it clear he's not joining the group, that could change. Number 2, an A for effort. A kudos to the WWE's performers and creative team for making the switch from 3 hours to 2 hours so well. While the show's 3-hour format has been criticized, Triple H and company have turned all 3 hours into must-see television, even though there were concerns how things would go after losing an hour. Turns out they worked surprisingly well, and with any luck, things will continue this way until Raw debuts on Netflix. Number 3, Xavier heel turn continues. A slow and steady wins the race. While that isn't always true, the WWE's development of Xavier Woods' apparent heel turn has played out logically and in a way where fans can appreciate Woods' growing frustrations. Last night's loss to Jey Uso and Xavier refusing to shake Jey's hand was another example of Xavier's downward spiral. Number 4, excellent follow-up to Bad Blood. Like most of the show, Raw didn't have much time for anything else, but it used the 2 hours wisely in following up Saturday's PLE, with the WWE mentioning Kevin Owens' post-show attack on Cody Rhodes, keeping fans guessing what Raquel Rodriguez's role in the Judgment Day is, and also looking ahead to Crown Jewel's champion versus champion matches. Number 5, WWE advertises next week's show. They continue to give fans reasons to tune into the following week, a win-win for the WWE as long as it continues delivering the matches promised. Number 6, WWE did well with creating illusions Sami could actually win. Last night's Sami vs Gunther match was a quality match in the ring, but its main appeal was how the WWE set things up so fans believe Sami might actually dethrone the ring general. Sami beat Gunther already, and so far he's the only superstar to do so since Gunther became Intercontinental Champion, a win that wasn't treated as a fluke. Furthermore, the WWE's recent booking of Bron Breakker, where Breakker lost the Intercontinental Championship to Jey Uso despite expectations for a long title reign, gave fans hope that Gunther might fall to Sami. Well, that didn't happen, but the potential for a title change mixed with an excellent match delivered a very strong main event. And give it time. The WWE's Bron Breakker storyline is confusing, with Breakker flip-flopping between working as a heel and a babyface. That being said, the WWE has built up enough goodwill with fans that they should give creative the benefit of the doubt that this will lead to somewhere significant. And that was a good. What about the bad? Is number 1, booking of Pure Fusion Collective is trash. While some fans are complaining about last night's 10-women match for paying lip service to the women's division by throwing 10 superstars into a short match, fans should be more upset with how the Pure Fusion Collective continues to lose ground. They pushed the group for weeks and it showed promise until they started losing, as if Natalya joining their opponents was the difference maker the babyfaces needed. It's time to move the Pure Fusion Collective into a new program, as their current booking kinda stinks. Number 2, please end Sheamus vs Dunn. Whilst last night's good old-fashioned Donnybrook was a solid match, and Sheamus really did pay the price out of it, their feud together hasn't really done anything for both men. Sheamus, who has settled into a role that drifts between mid and upper card, shouldn't be winning against Dunn, at least if the WWE actually wants to elevate the former Butch. Now, as nothing downright ugly, WWE did a good job adjusting to Raw's 2-hour limit, showing its performers and creative team's versatility. What do you guys think of 2-hour Raw? Do you guys still prefer 3? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now, we're really not ready for Raw on Netflix. Atop of today's news is a rumor that the WWE plans to make its first Raw on Netflix a PLE level show, and hopefully the biggest Raw in history. The 6th January episode already has John Cena booked for the show, and Fightful Select reports a longtime WWE employee told Sean Ross Sapp the show is likely to be one of the biggest episodes of Raw in history from the standpoint of buzz. Fightful is reporting on why the WWE is so determined to start things off with a huge bang. WWE views the move to Netflix as their next leap in popularity, we're told. While we haven't been told of the specific plans, WWE sources had indicated to expect a major show. They were said to expect talent from SmackDown booked for the show as well, though that hasn't been factored in yet. The WWE appears to be using its TV programming to maintain interest in the product, likely due to the 2-month gap between its PLEs. 30th November's Survivor Series War Games is a final PLE in 2024, while 2025's Royal Rumble is scheduled for February 1st. However, the WWE also has a Saturday night's main event special scheduled for 14th December on NBC. 2024 was a fantastic year for both the WWE in terms of storylines and the company's business deals, as it secured big money deals for its content, and there seems to be no end in sight for its growth. As a result, you can be sure the WWE wants to start 2025 off right with a fantastic premiere for Raw, not only to please the fans, but please its new business partners. Next up, Roman Reigns made a huge decision backstage. There's a jaw-dropping report suggests that how much power Roman Reigns has behind the scenes. Wrestling purist Ibu recently commented on last Friday's triple threat ladder match between the WWE Tag Champions Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, DIY and the Street Profits, specifically who booked the finish. Roman has supreme power. His power is so strong he gets to book other people on SmackDown. This is a total shoot. I asked 2 weeks ago, or 1 or 2 weeks ago, or 1 week ago who's winning the tag team ladder match between the Bloodline, the Street Profits and DIY. The person I spoke to said that's up to Roman. So who won exactly? If the report is accurate, it suggests fans will see more Bloodline-based storylines. On one hand, the WWE has enjoyed considerable success with the Bloodline, and Roman Reigns' input could help the WWE maintain its popularity. On the other hand, the WWE has to pay attention that Roman's power doesn't lead to storylines where WWE's roster is nothing more than opponents fed to the faction with no long-term payoff. Next up is CM Punk retiring. As CM Punk's comments on Raw have some people pondering whether the straight-edged superstar is mulling over hanging up his boots for good. Punk addressed the WWE Universe on Raw, reflecting on his journey back to wrestling and the toll it's taken on him, particularly his Hell in a Cell match against Drew McIntyre. To say the match was hellacious would be an understatement, but other than Drew McIntyre needing to have his head stapled shut, there have been no reports of any notable injuries. And with that in mind, we believe that it's just another case of Punk selling things up to set up a new storyline, perhaps one in which he questions his future in wrestling only to have something rekindle his passion, leading him to challenging Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Punk's ability to play with the fans' heartstrings was obvious Saturday when he collapsed on his way back to the ring and was attended to by medical staff who gave him oxygen. This led to concerns that Punk was banged up even worse than believed. Fortunately, it was a classic case of a top-tier performer working the fans. Next up, WWE superstars pushing AJ Lee for an in-ring return. And while some fans are concerned about Punk retiring, several female superstars are pushing Punk's wife to step back into the ring. Wrestling News noted, after a fan noted on social media that Lee is aging well, several WWE stars such as Cora Jade and Bayley chimed in. Bayley saying, "I heard wrestling rings are really good for wrinkles." Cora Jade said, "Yeah, same." And Liv Morgan, "Me too." AJ replied to Liv, "I adore you goddesses and your peer pressure." But Bayley followed up with this reply saying, "Dude, we're just looking out for your well-being and health. We care about you." Would you guys like to see AJ Lee back in WWE? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a spoiler as a huge return is happening on Raw. Now it's time for a big spoiler, so skip ahead to our next story if you want to avoid all spoilers. Now, fans attending the TV taping for next week's Raw, as the show is being taped due to the WWE's United Kingdom tour, saw the return of the Viking Raiders Eric and Ivar, who are now working under their old name, the War Raiders. There's no word on why the WWE is ditching the Viking Raiders name, but Eric and Ivar fans will hopefully get to see the team do something besides put over talent regularly, as they did before injury sidelined both men. Next up, Wyatt 6 confirm a new target. As mentioned in our Raw recap, there was a tease of the Wyatt 6 targeting The Miz and or Karrion Kross. Now the Sinister Group seems to be confirming this, as they tweeted a picture of The Miz and Kross from Raw with the text, "There you are," and this message. And finally, AJ Styles' final injury update, and it's not looking good. And last but not least, it's time for the latest on AJ's injury status following last Friday's SmackDown match between AJ and Carmelo Hayes. The match was stopped due to an apparent injury, but conflicting reports emerged about Styles' status. Now Fightful Select, which originally reported the injury was a work, is updating fans with this. I can confirm it's been told to his friends, staff, writers and others that it's legit, and I want to share my suspicions with all due respect in regards to Styles' health and injury status. Fightful noted that the WWE's extensive coverage of Styles' post-match treatment, including social media updates, made the case that it was a work. If so, it's a very elaborate one and a reminder of how intricate storylines can get. We're sending our best to AJ Styles for a speedy recovery. But there you have it folks, our look at Raw as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.